I kind of want to sing another REM. No, I want to sing "Ahead by a Century." That's by the Tragically Hip. Ah, here it is. Good, good, good. All right, here we go. First thing we climb a tree, and maybe then we talk, or sit silently and listen to our thoughts, illusions of someday, cast in a golden light, no dress rehearsal. This is our life. And that's where the hornet stung me, and I had a feverish dream with revenge and doubt. Tonight we smoke them out. You are ahead by a century. You are ahead by a century. You are ahead by a century. There in the morning shroud, and then the day began. I tilted your cloud, you tilted my hand. Rain falls in real time, and rain fell through the night. No dress rehearsal, this is our life. Well, that's when the hornet stung me, and I had a serious dream with revenge and doubt. Tonight we smoke them out. You are ahead by a century. 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 And disappointing you is getting me down. Hydrate or drive? Absolutely. That is good. Dihydrogen oxide. That is very, very good. Dihydrogen oxide.
Yep. All of those clouds. They're scaring the squirrels. Okay. Good afternoon. A little late today. This is Double Triple channel on Twitch. My name is Ron, and it is August 19th at a little after 3:30. I live in rural New Hampshire, surrounded by forests, on a donkey farm, lots of animals. I like to stream science, technology, news, some vegan stuff occasionally, IRL, sci-fis, movies in general. So, lots of stuff. And today, I've been trying to do Monday. Today's Monday, right? Yeah. I've been trying to make Mondays, try to do news or something, to start the week, I haven't got my stride yet on this, on the news thing yet, but I'm going to try something new. I was doing a little bit of research, and I found out that some sites that allow you to use their stuff freely, news sites, So there's this Democracy Now!, which a lot of people have probably heard of. They allow online folks to use their stuff. And then there are a few others out there that there's one that's in Portuguese in Brazil that said you could use their stuff, but you can't modify it. So it's all in Portuguese, which means you can't translate it. There's a question about whether you can. In the U.S. it's called an adaptation or transformation if you do something creative with it. There has to be some creativity into it. So there's a question now, I guess, whether or not if you have AI that does the translation for you, if is that an adaptation or a derivation or a transformation of the work, and how that would affect the Creative Commons license that they put on it. So this stuff's complicated, all this IP stuff. But Democracy Now! Said we can use their stuff. I'm not sure. Maybe I have to send them an email, tell them that I'm doing this. I don't know. Maybe I'll do that afterwards. But so let's start out with. Here we go. Let's. All right. Video. Wait. Watch browser. Can I do that? Watch browser. No. Yeah. All right, we're still trying to get this figured out here. There we go. Okay, now that didn't work for some reason. Let me try something here. Nope, that didn't work. I thought I had this figured out. Oh, I know. Maybe that's it. No. Yeah, I thought I had this figured out here. I was going to start out with the weather. I had a really cool weather chart, and I was going to do weather, right? Because you got to have weather in the news, right? Oh, I know. No, that didn't help. Radar. Oh, get some panels here. Okay, let's come up here. Oh, that looks good. Oh, that came up. I wasn't even trying to do that, and it came up. There we go. What does that look like? Did that work? Yeah, look at that. We got a weather chart. Okay, we got the national weather chart. I wasn't even trying to do that, and it came up. All right, so national weather maps. So let's look at the national weather map. I'm in the U.S., and I'm in New Hampshire, way up here. For those of you in other parts of the world who aren't familiar with all the states of the United States, New Hampshire's right up here. Almost Maine's the only one that's further northeast than we are. But we border Canada along with Maine, Vermont, and So let me click this and see what it does. Oh, look at that. I thought I was going to get a national weather map. There we go. Okay, so here we go. This is pretty good. You can see that, right? All right. So looks like we've got some weather here. We got some blue H's up here, and there's a red L, and then we have these little squiggly lines here with lots of blue triangles on them. And this one here has some blue triangles and some red humps on them. And they're probably moving. I'm not sure which direction, but they're moving around. So, and then over here, where I am right now, I'm in New Hampshire, and we've got these diagonal red lines and gray lines. So that doesn't look good for us, huh? I know we had a few sprinkles today, and the weather's been kind of weird. We did have some sun. I made this. Here, let me show you this thing here. Can you see this thing here? Yeah, you can see that, right? That's my. Couple streams ago, I did this thing here. I made this thing here, which is an air purifier. I made it for $2.33, and it's solar powered. So the day I made it, there was just barely enough sun to get the fan to work, so I knew that it was these connected properly. But today the sun came out finally after days. It came out pretty strong a couple hours ago. There were breaks and stuff of full sun, and it worked. It worked exactly how it was supposed to work. This, I put a fan on. This is a vacuum bag, so I put a fan on this vacuum cleaner bag, and it blows air into it. And this thing, when the sun was blowing, it's just really puffed out. It worked exactly as planned. So that was really cool. So one of these days, I will stream while that is actually working, and I can show you that. But anyway, so we did get some sun, but we're supposed to get a lot of thunderstorms and stuff like that. I was just kidding around with this. I think I actually do have. Okay, here's our area here. This is New Hampshire. This little outline right here, this thing, like this. And this is Vermont. Vermont is just like New Hampshire, except they're upside down. And we're upside right, see? Yeah, if I lived in people in Vermont, they say that New Hampshire is just like Vermont, except we're upside down. So it's a running joke. So yeah, see, here's a big blob of yellow and green and what is that, gray? So gray's not good, is it? Gray, no. So we got this storm coming through, and it's going to get wet, basically, or it already is wet in a lot of places. I'm in this Connecticut River Valley here. This is the Connecticut River here. That runs all the way up. I don't know how far up it goes, but it runs all the way down here, and it basically divides Vermont and New Hampshire. And we get kind of special weather because of that. It's a lot of wet. It's a lot of thermal mass and moisture and stuff like that. So it kind of creates. You notice how right here. This is kind of. Anyway, there are more clouds, and it has its own little weather pattern here along the river. So so the actual forecast, let's see, somewhere here, let's see, radar. Oh, here we go. Here, look at this one. Oh yeah, this one's got green too. It's got red and blue and green in there. Look at that. And these numbers here, they're lower here by where we are. Gee, I wonder what that means. Oh, it's real low here. Wonder what that means. Yeah, that means there's a storm. That's how they used to do the weather. These little pressure gauges that they hung on the wall, and it had a marker where you could just mark where it was, and if the pressure, and then you check it a few hours later, whatever, and if the pressure was lower, then you'd say, oh, there's a storm. We're going to get a storm. So we've come a long way in terms of weather forecasting and stuff. I thought I had another one marked here, but that's okay. We don't need to. So, yeah, that was the weather. Up next, the news. All right, so yeah, we're going to get some storms, unsettled weather. But it was really it was really humid today. I went into the store today, and the this is a science. I always go back to science, right? So it's you walk down the freezer aisle, and they got the glass. It used to all be open. Right now, it's all enclosed in glass, vertical. You open up the glass door so you look at what you want through the glass, and then you open up the door to get what you want out of the freezer section. And the whole freezer section the glass was all wet and foggy. You couldn't even see the product inside the freezer because it's so humid around here. The water was just condensing on the outside of the things. So I got my dehumidifiers on now, and you should have seen my hair earlier. It was like like this. That's what hair is. What is it? Hydrophilic? Is that what it is? Yeah, hydrophilic. I think it is the word. It likes to absorb moisture or something. And when it absorbs moisture, it just goes, and it doesn't look good. That's why people's hair, they just a lot of people, their hair will change quite dramatically in the humid weather. All right, let's go to let me go to this Democracy Now! Site. I looked at it about 5 minutes before I started the stream, so I'm not really sure, but I noticed that there's something in here. Phil Donahue died, it says. So we can look at that. Obituaries, those are always fun to start with, right? All right, let me bring this up and see what it says. Okay. All right, I can. You know what I should do? I should put there. I put my little thing in the corner there, so you know that it's not just a recording or something. I'm actually live. When people are seeing the thumbnail or just browsing through it, or they know it's a real thing. Watch full show. All right, let's just watch this and see what it does. I don't know. I hope this will work.
And in breaking news, the pioneering TV host Phil Donahue has died at the age of 88. The Phil Donahue Show, later renamed Donahue, ran from the 1960s through to 1996 and tackled major social and political issues, including women's rights, child abuse in the Catholic Church, prisons, and racism. Among his notable interview subjects was Nelson Mandela, whom he spoke with shortly after his release from a South African prison in 1990. Over his career, Donahue won 20 Emmy Awards and received the Peabody Award.
In 2003, Phil Donahue was fired from his primetime MSNBC talk show during the run-up to the U.S. invasion of Iraq. It was the most popular talk show on MSNBC at the time. The problem wasn't Phil's ratings, but rather his views. An internal MSNBC memo warned Donahue was a, quote, difficult public face for NBC in a time of war, providing a, quote, home for the liberal anti-war agenda at the same time that our competitors are waving the flag at every opportunity, unquote. In 2013, we spoke to Phil Donahue about his firing.
I think what happened to me, the biggest lesson, I think, is how corporate media shapes our opinions and our coverage. This was a decision, my decision, the decision to release me, came from far above. This was not an assistant program director who decided to separate me from MSNBC. They were terrified of the anti-war voice, and that is not an overstatement. Anti-war voices were not popular. And if you're General Electric, you certainly don't want an anti-war voice on a cable channel that you own. Donald Rumsfeld's your biggest customer. So, by the way, I had to have two conservatives on for every liberal. I could have Richard Pearl on alone, but I couldn't have Dennis Kucinich on alone. I was considered two liberals. It really is funny almost when you look back on how the management was just frozen by the anti-war voice. We were scolds. We weren't patriotic. American people disagreed with us, and we weren't good for business.
That was the groundbreaking TV host and journalist Phil Donahue. Following his firing, Phil went on to co-direct the documentary Body of War that told the story of the U.S. Iraq War veteran Thomas Young, who was paralyzed after being shot in Iraq and came home to become an anti-war activist. Phil Donahue died on Sunday at the age of 88. He's survived by his wife Marlo Thomas, his 4 children, and his grandchildren. Our condolences to the whole Thomas Donahue family. Phil Donahue, the pioneering TV talk show host. That does it for our show. We just have less than a minute to go. Tune in to our expanded daily.
Okay, so that was about Phil Donahue. Donahoe. Yeah, Phil Donahoe. I didn't watch his show that much. He was kind of sensational or whatever. He was like the Trump of the left, I guess. I don't know what you'd call him, but he was sensational, right? He was. But yeah, what he said there is true, right? It's when you watch mainstream media, you're not getting the full story. You're not getting everything that happens. There's certain things that they don't want to be said, and she said, and he was saying that it was not, that anti-war was not popular. That's not true. When going into Afghanistan. This was back. Okay, right. I'll give you the whole thing. A whole bunch of background of what he's talking about anti-war. Now I don't know what period he was talking about. And I don't remember what dates he was on TV. Let me look this up because maybe he was talking about a different time period. Let me just make sure that we're talking about the same time period here. I'm going to look this up really quickly and get this time frame that he was. Okay. All right. Okay, 96. Okay, and when? Let's see. Did they? See program. Oh yeah. Okay, so this is right. Retirement to host a show. Okay, so yeah, that's the right time period. So it was that's what he was talking about then. What happened was, okay, there was the 2000 election between George Bush and God, I'm sorry. I have a problem recalling proper nouns, so I'm sorry. It screws me up sometimes. Al Gore, and so Al Gore and George Bush were, had their thing, and it was basically a tie. And the Supreme Court said, fuck you, don't recount the ballots. We don't care. Bush is the president, and they made Bush the president. Basically, is what happened. So Bush was the president, and right after Bush got and to give you a little background, Bush's father was president before him. He's a big oil man, and Bush picked as his vice president Dick Cheney, who was the CEO of Halliburton, which is a oil industry, petroleum industry service company. So it was basically the oil companies were running the country at that time, at that point. So they got in there, and one of the things they like high oil prices, right? That's their thing, they like the price of oil to be high. That's what they want, and that's what they got. They got in there, and as soon as they got put in the position of commander in chief, and could command the army, then the Saudi Arabia, attacked us on 9/11, flew a jet into two jets into the Twin Towers. You know the story about 9/11, right? I'll have to go with that. So 9/11 happened, and so instead of going after the Saudis, right, which we should have, right, because they're the ones who attacked us, Bush figured out, okay, they attacked us to give us a cause to go wherever we want and take oil off the market to drive the oil prices up, and that's what happened. We went into to Afghanistan first because that's where one of the Saudi prince was there. His name was Osama bin Laden, or Osama bin Laden, depending upon where you live or who you are. That's Osama bin Laden. That's where he was in Afghanistan. Afghanistan has one of the largest oil reserves in the world, but it's untapped. And it's been untapped for a long, long time because the U.S. and Russia take turns disrupting their whole society, so they can't get the oil out of the ground. So we did that, and then he said, "Hey, while all the people are fired up, let's go into Iraq, because they've been selling oil on the market and driving the prices down. So let's take Saddam Hussein out." And so that's what they did. And before we went in, there was quite a discussion about that. And they kept saying, "Oh, he's got weapons of mass destruction." And of course, he didn't have any weapons of mass destruction. And there were articles and everything about that. There were no weapons of mass destruction. Everybody knew it. They just wanted to go in there and take his oil off the market. So, but the people didn't know that. I didn't know that at the time. And so it was virtually split, evenly split. The 50% said, yeah, go into Iraq. 50% of the population said, no, don't go into Iraq. So what Phil Donahue said there wasn't hugely unpopular. No, it was split. The country was evenly split. And then once we went in, they do the whole rallying cry and all that, and they get people fired up, and then it moves more towards, okay, let's support the troops, blah blah blah, the whole thing. But after a couple of years, and people figured out, hey, wait a second, there are no weapons of mass destruction. You guys knew there were no weapons of mass destruction. What are you doing? You just killed a whole bunch of people. Just created a hub. Why? Why did you do that? Well, why is because they wanted higher oil prices, and they got it. There were high oil prices all through Bush's first term until it got to election time, and then of course the Saudis flooded the market right before the election so that the gas prices would go down, and people would say, "Oh, gas prices are low. Let's keep Bush in." Black click. Okay, let's vote for Bush. So that's how that works. So yeah, and it's no surprise that GE is a huge defense contractor, and so there's no GE owned NBC. I don't know who owns them now, but do they still own them? I don't know. I haven't even kept track now, but so yeah, they were whoever owns the media, and it's wealthy companies that usually have some ties to defense contractors or whatever, or big banks or something. So don't watch mass media, guys. Don't do it. You're giving them power when you do that. If you watch mass media, you're giving them power because you're listening to what stories they want. You're listening to the stories the way they want you to hear them. And even if you think that you're immune to the propaganda, you're not. That's the whole thing. Propaganda. It's not like this isn't Nazi Germany type propaganda anymore. The techniques that they use are just astounding, and you can't defend against it. Even if you know the techniques that they're using, and you understand how it's done, the only defense is to not listen to it. That's the defense, And you're still going to get it. You're still going to get it through osmosis, through streamers who are watching mass media and end up parroting what they hear, or it's so don't watch mass media. Okay, where are we at here? So Phil Donahue, yeah, that's sad that he died. 88, that's a pretty good run though, I guess, huh? Okay, let's see what they got here. Hot topics. All right, let's see what is going on in Gaza, if there's anything new here. Okay, so we'll just look at some of the headlines here. I can bring this up, I think, and just show you some of the shoot my little. Wait a second here. My mouse isn't moving very well. All right, I think I can shrink that down a little bit there. There we go. Is that better? Okay, that's good enough, I guess. So, let's see what they're saying about Gaza here. It's the Democratic Party's war. Gaza protests planned throughout week. DNC. That's another thing. Why waste your time? Why go to Chicago and protest and waste your time? It's not gonna do anything. It won't do a damn thing. You're not gonna influence anything. Nothing will be affected by it. You'll spend a bunch of your money. You waste a bunch of money and put a bunch of CO2 in the atmosphere. That's what's gonna happen. Vietnam then, Gaza now. Bill Ayers and Juan Gonzalez. Okay, so this is just talking heads talking about something. I don't think we need that. I want to try to stick to the facts if we can. I give you my opinion, but I want to try to get facts here. Yeah. Oh, I did. If you're in case you're wondering why I put broken news, that's because it used to be called breaking news. Remember, breaking news. Get it? Breaking news. Now it's definitely, they broke it. It's broken now, right? It used to be news. Then it was breaking news because they were trying to break the news. Now it's broken. So I just explained why. Politics talk. Yeah. Okay. Kamala Harris. Okay. Don't care about that. DNC. Don't care. Gazans. So Gazans hold out little hope as Blinken pushes for ceasefire. Yeah, that's not, I don't put much faith in that, ceasefires and all that. Once people start shooting each other, a piece of paper isn't going to stop them, There's people's words. Oh, we give our word. Yeah, that doesn't happen. Once the bullets start flying, that's it. It doesn't end until one side or the other actually. Well, sometimes they get into a stalemate where it just goes on and on and on, and especially if they're democratic type things, and the people just say fuck you. We're tired of this war. Stop it. Or we're gonna revolt. And then they stop. Israel soldiers attack Deir al-Balah. I don't know what that is. Wiping out families, children. It's August 19th. Oh man! First case of polio in Gaza. Green Party President Jill Stein taps historian Butch Weir as running mate. Oh. That's interesting. All right, I like to give third parties. I'm not going to vote for Jill Stein probably, but I like to give third parties. The weird thing about this whole the politics election thing is that We've got the Democrat and Republican presidential candidates, and 70% of the country don't want either one of them. 70%. So that means that what's that? 15% each, right? So that's how much time if the news organizations were really fair, they'd spend 15% of their amount of time on Trump and 15% of the amount of their time on Harris, and the other 70% should be on the other candidates, right? The other choices. That's what makes sense to me, because that's what the point is, right? 70% of people don't want either one of them. So, all right. Butchware. All right, let's see. Green Party presidential candidate Jill Stein announced historian and Professor Butch Ware as her running mate. Jill Stein, who also ran on the Green Party ticket in 12 and 16, has made Gaza ceasefire one of her main things. In a post announcing her VP pick, Stein wrote, "This is truly a historic ticket, bringing together a Jewish woman and a black Muslim man against genocide, endless war, climate collapse, and rampant injustice, and for an economy that works for working people, a viable future for our children, and an America and a world that works for all of us." Stein and Butch Ware held a virtual press conference on Saturday. Okay. They don't have a link to the press conference that I see on here, do they? No. Okay. I don't listen a whole lot to what candidates say. It's pointless at this point in our, the way our society is. It doesn't, none of them do what they say that they're going to do anyway. It's just pointless. There's no reason to listen to them. You just figure out, do you like what we got now? If you do, then vote for the incumbent. If you don't like what's going on, then vote for somebody else. Whoever's most likely that you think would. Let's see kicks off, and preferably somebody who's never held high position before. Somebody who's never been in Washington or worked in Washington like that before would be the best choice, I think. Okay, so they're talking about that. Gazans hold out little hope. Push for ceasefire. Yeah. Okay, so he is in Israel. Well, that's encouraging, at least. Secretary of State Lincoln is in Israel. What's the date here? This one. 19th, okay. He is in Israel, where he warned ongoing ceasefire talks may be the last chance to free Hamas hostages. As he spoke from Tel Aviv earlier today, Blinken added, "It's also time to make sure that no one takes any steps that could derail this process. Inside Gaza, displaced Palestinians in I don't know how to pronounce that, Khan Yunis, I don't know, responded to Blinken's latest visit." So, okay. Yeah. Israeli soldiers attack. Yeah, wiping out families, children. That's just so sad. It's another fossil fuel war too. People don't understand that. It's a fossil fuel war. The reason they went in there is they don't want to develop that gas field, that Gaza Marine gas field. They just got approval just a couple of months before that October attack. They got approval to start developing that and pulling that gas out of there and putting it on the market. And, people who control the natural gas market didn't want that. So this is the result. Thousands of people, millions of people displaced, I'm going to put my mug back up here for a second because I don't want pictures. I don't know what kind of pictures they put here. I don't want to make sure we're Twitch safe and everybody, Israel as a Hamas hostages rally in Tel Aviv ahead of Blinken visit. Israel attacks southern Lebanon, killing... Oh no, this is something. Let me see here. Make sure we're... Okay, they don't have full stories here. They're just headlines. But let me... it says Israel attacks southern Lebanon, killing 10 civilians from Syria. So let's see why those civilians from Syria, why were they in Lebanon? Let's see here if they say. Regional tensions remain high amid ongoing attacks around the Israeli-Lebanon border. Lebanese state media reported an Israeli strike in the south of the country killed at least 10 Syrian nationals Saturday, including 2 children. This is a witness of that attack. Honestly, a number of workers were martyred on the site, including a janitor, along with his wife and 2 children. They were all Syrians. This is a civilian establishment that works for metal trades, for hangars, false ceilings, and homes, and has nothing to do with military things at all. Meanwhile, Israeli forces earlier today raided the town of Hula, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, in southern Lebanon, according to local reports. So, probably, I guess, Syrian refugees maybe or something from the war in Syria, I guess. That happened a few years back. And in cholera, this is Sudan. Let me make sure this is okay before I go any further here. All right. All right. Cholera outbreak adds to misery of displacement, starvation in Sudan war as peace talks falter. In Sudan, a cholera outbreak has killed over 300 people according to the World Health Organization. Highly contagious infection transmitted through contaminated food or water can cause severe diarrhea and dehydration. Sudan is facing a catastrophic humanitarian situation with famine declared in a camp in North Darfur, with over 10 million displaced since the civil war erupted last April. This is Lenny Kinsley of the World Food Program. Okay, it is the world's largest hunger crisis. 25.6 million people are facing acute hunger. 54% of the population, so basically that means 1 in 2 Sudanese are not able to put a basic meal on their plate every day, are struggling every day just to eat. Of those, around 755,000 people are in the highest stage of food insecurity, catastrophic hunger, which basically means they've run out of all options and are surviving in whatever way they can, eating leaves off trees, eating grass. The Sudanese government is sending a delegation to Cairo for talks with U.S. and Egyptian officials after failing to attend peace talks in Geneva last week. Talks in Egypt will reportedly be restricted to discussing the implementation of last year's Jeddah Agreement, which is supposed to uphold humanitarian protections during the bloody conflict. So, yeah, Sudan's still having problems there, big problems. Okay. I was going to get. Let's see. Mpox. That's what I was going to do. Philippines reports Mpox case in patient who had not traveled abroad. Okay. In health news, the Philippines is the latest country to report a new case of Mpox. Okay, so the 33-year-old Filipino patient from Manila had no history of foreign travel. Last week, the World Health Organization declared Mpox a global public health emergency after an outbreak spread from the Democratic Republic of the Congo to a dozen neighboring countries. Maybe after this, I'll do that world game, or that where we show where the countries are in the world. I did that once on a stream a while back. Maybe we would do that again so we can kind of place some of these things. Democratic Republic of Congo is in the kind of in the middle of Africa. It's got a I'm pretty sure it has a coastline on the Atlantic there a little bit, but it's basically the middle of the lower part of Africa. Sweden and Pakistan have since reported cases as well. So Mpox, yeah. I don't know what the case is in it. I mean, I'm wearing my, this here. You got. This is an N95. It's got to say N95 on it. You guys know the type of mask to wear, right? It's got to be an N95. No KN95. Don't use the KN95 because those they have a different standard, and they don't. They kind of leave it up to the manufacturers to police themselves. So those are not always good, Let me focus in on this here, so you can see, so I can explain. This is the kind of mask you need to wear. You want to protect yourself from any airborne disease. Mpox monkeypox is also by touch. But let me see if I can make this focus here, and you can see it here. So this is the kind I wear. This is a really good mask. I don't know who actually. Milwaukee is like a brand, So I don't know who actually makes these things, but the thing that you want to look for on this, let me point to this, is you get a mask that says N95, right? And to make sure that it's real, it's got to have this TC number on it. Every single mask that comes out has to go to NIOSH. This thing right here, NIOSH, National Institute of Occupational Safety and Health, or something like that, or I forget what the acronym is. But they're the guys. They've got a laboratory in there where they test every single new mask that a manufacturer develops has to get tested by this NIOSH, and they do all kinds of stuff and make sure that it actually is an N95, that it actually blocks. The particles and stuff. So make sure you get at least an N95. You can get an N99, you can get an N100 or P95, P99, or P100. Any of those work. It's got to be at least 95. and wear it, of course. Anytime you're around people, wear your mask. I just went out today. I wore my mask everywhere I went. And it has to make a good seal. I like this one. This particular brand. It's just I buy it at a hardware store. You don't have to do anything, special or anything. Just go to a hardware store. And you're actually in a hardware store. You're more likely to get a good mask because the drugstores, they have an interest in selling you drugs, right? So if you're sick, you're going to buy more drugs. That's how it works. So you're probably better off going to a hardware store anyway. They want you healthy so that you can buy their products and use them and do home improvements. So that they have a financial incentive to keep you healthy. So, yeah, N95. That's what you got to wear, and I'll wear it no matter where you go. I mean, all the time. Whenever you're in public, and there's no 6-foot rule or anything like that. You can catch it. You know, you can be 20, 30 feet away and still catch it if there's people who aren't wearing a mask, and they're sick. Then you can still catch what they got. So all the time you need to wear that mask. Or even when you're like, if somebody's in a room, if somebody is sick and they're in a room, especially a small room, and they've been in there a while and then they leave, if you go in that room, even though they're gone, you can still get it because the germs are still floating around in the air, right? So you got to think about it. A good rule of thumb is if the person was smoking, if there's somebody around you and they're smoking, if you could smell that smoke, then you got to be wearing your mask. If you're close enough to where you could possibly smell the smoke, then you got to wear the mask. And that means outdoors, indoors, anything. But yeah, that's and we're still in the pandemic. That's something I can check, huh? Let's see here. Okay, did we cover this? We're all done with this one, right? Yeah, we're done with that one. Let me let's see what the rate is, what the chart is for the pandemic here. see how bad, what the current state of things are according to the CDC. Let's see. Okay, let's see if I can find this here. This will take a second here while I find this. I just think it'd be interesting to look up while I'm covering news. Might as well cover the news of the pandemic, right? Let's see what's going on. All right, COVID CDC Go. Okay, COVID CDC Go. I got bookmarks on my other computer here, but I had to upgrade to a better computer to do streaming. My old computer wasn't good enough to do this. All right, let's see here. COVID tracker data. No, COVID data tracker. Okay. COVID data tracker. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to find this chart. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. Let me bring this up here. All right. So this is the CDC website, cdc.gov. It's covid.cdc.gov. This is the COVID data tracker. See that? I don't know if you can see that, but I don't know. It's not showing that. Okay, but that's where it's at. If you want to find this, here I'll type it into the chat. Well, that's not going to help, is it? Because most people watch on the VODs. Yeah, it's covid.cdc.gov, and this particular page where they show graphs and stuff of what's going on is /COVID-data-tracker. Now it's kind of hard to. All right, so let's see here. Early indicators. COVID-19 update for the United States. Early indicators. Positivity tests. 18%. What? Oh my God, that's a lot. Emergency department visits, 2.4%. Percent diagnosed with COVID-19. So just out of everybody going to the emergency room, 2.4 are diagnosed with COVID. Holy God, That is really bad. Yeah, definitely wear your mask, man. That's insane. That's, you know, that's pretty much, I mean, you're pretty much sure to be exposed if you go out then. You know, this is really few maps, few trends. Wow, hospitalizations. All right, let me see this one here. Let's see, it's percent COVID-19 deaths in the past week, 1.9%. Change from prior week, 18.7%. Wow. So that's up. That's really up a lot. Huh. Let's see. They're showing. Okay, here they're showing the rates here. One to 9 code deaths, less than 2%. Okay, I don't know what this percent or what. Oh, percentage of all deaths are so that's a lot, right? Damn. All right. They used to have a really nice chart here that kind of gave an overview of the whole, you know, the whole trend and everything. And I'm not sure what happened to that. Apparently they got rid of that or something. I don't know. Oh, this one has it. Now why didn't that... let's see if I can find this here. Trends, weekly deaths, select. Okay. Now, I'm sorry, I had this all set up. I have it all set up on my little laptop here. I'm just trying to find out how to get there from here on this other computer. There it is, trends. Trends, weekly deaths. Okay, I think this is it. Yeah, okay. So let's zoom in here. And where we're at here so far. So August. So it goes down in the summer. If you go way back, it goes, you know, it goes down in the summer. Let's see. Let's do. Okay, this is a whole year here. Let's see. Let's get a year view here. So there we go. That's about a year. So it kind of goes up and down and up and down. So per week, so over 500 people are dying a week right now from COVID. It's almost 100 a day. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people dying, you know, because they're too stupid to wear a mask, you know. If you wear the mask, you wear it good, you make sure it fits right, you're not going to die. You're not going to get sick, you know. But they don't want to tell people that because they want to sell them drugs, you know, or make money off them in the hospital, or who knows why they do it. I don't know what their motivation is. Maybe they just hate Americans. I don't know what it is. I have no idea why they don't tell people to wear their masks. But okay, so bad. Wear your mask. It's, you know, still a lot of people out there that are dying, you know. I'm gonna keep wearing mine till it's over, till there are no more cases, you know. All right, so monkeypox. Yeah, and the mask works against any respiratory. It's not just COVID, but the flu, everything that can hurt you, make you sick, that you breathe in. Okay, so these are the protests. All right, I'm going to look through here a little bit more. Coal exports to Israel. Oh, okay, here's one. Wow, okay. When I first saw this headline, I thought there was a university, you know, about the student protests, and now it said Columbia, and I thought, oh, Columbia University. No, this is the country, Columbia. Columbia bans coal exports to Israel over genocide. Pedro has banned coal exports to Israel. Explained his move. Colombian coal is used to make bombs to kill Pakistani children. Colombia has been the largest supplier of coal to Israel. Wow, that's a biggie, huh? I don't know how much Israel relies on coal in their energy mix, but I don't know. They shouldn't be burning coal anyway, right? You know, you shouldn't be killing. You shouldn't be. You're killing people by burning the coal, right? I don't know. Belarus threatens Kiev over border troops. All right, I gotta blank this out. So check out the pictures before I put them up here. Kiev over border troops as Ukraine pushes further into Russia's Kirks. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's an interesting one. Okay. Belarus threatens Kiev over border troops as Ukraine pushes further into Russia's Kirks. Kirks. I think that's how you pronounce it. Kirks. So Belarus is kind of above, geographically kind of above Ukraine, or above into the west, so northwest of Ukraine, I guess. And Belarus is still, a puppet of Russia. Whereas Ukraine's got rid of their Russian puppet, and that's kind of why there's a little bit of friction there between Russia and Ukraine right now. Just a little bit of friction. As Ukraine forces expand their incursion inside Russia, Moscow says Kiev. Everybody says Kiev. I say Kiev. I don't know. My dictionary, I look it up, it says Kiev. But my dictionary is like 30, 40 years old, so I don't know. They like to change these things all the time. It says Kiev has struck a third bridge in the Kirks region. So I talked about this story last time, right? Ukraine and Russia have been fighting, and Russia attacked Ukraine. Russia was the aggressor. They started the whole thing. And there was a thing where people were saying, oh, no, Ukraine can't go into Russia and onto their territory to fight them. And finally they did. So they're in, Ukraine now is in Russia. They pushed into Russia. So Russia also said its troops had captured a group of at least 10 Ukrainian soldiers in the region. Meanwhile, Belarusian president and staunch Putin ally Alexander Lukashenko has threatened Ukraine with military action as he accused Kiev of deploying 120,000 troops along Ukraine's border with Belarus. Okay. So that's so it looks like first casualty of war is the truth, right? But I think everybody kind of agrees that this actually happened. That Ukraine went into Russia. So I guess they're doing all right on the war. But Russia was on the eastern part of Ukraine is where they were making their gains. So just people killing each other. That's Dominican president. Okay, so here's somebody starting. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, let's read this. Let me make sure there's no problems here. Okay. Dominican President Abinader starts second term after enacting hardline immigration policy against Haitians. So we'll look at this afterwards. I'll bring up that geography thing. But down in the Caribbean near above Colombia and above Colombia and Venezuela, north of that, and I guess south of Cuba. I'm trying to picture it in my mind, but it's basically one island, but there's a border, and on one side is Haiti, and on the other side is the Dominican Republic. So apparently they're, Haiti's been having a lot of problems, right? So probably, I'm guessing, I haven't been following this very closely, but I'm guessing that there are refugees wanting to go to the Dominican Republic, and people are xenophobic, and they don't want outsiders coming to their country, or at least politicians say that in order to lead their population around by the nose. So that's what this guy's doing apparently. Okay, has been sworn in for a second term, vowing economic reforms and to carry on a ban on asylum seekers from neighboring Haiti. Yeah, that's okay. That makes sense. That's what I just said. Right? Increased raids and deportation of Haitians, and also began construction of a 100-mile concrete wall. So this is the Dominican Republic of Trump, I guess, right? This guy's just, we'll build a wall, we'll keep them out, blah, 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 blah. Okay, which is experiencing, so along the border with Haiti, was experiencing a worsening humanitarian crisis. Haitian leaders skipped Abinader's inauguration Friday. Okay, so it's not just, so the Haitian leaders it says they skipped it, but we don't know why, right? Usually when that happens, when countries are that close, like if Canada didn't send somebody to the inauguration in January, whoever wins and gets inaugurated president, if Canada didn't send somebody to the inauguration, that'd be a huge diplomatic issue, right? It'd be, that's the way diplomacy works. Just not doing something can cause a big problem, when it's something that's expected. So I guess that's the leaders didn't go to the inauguration, so I guess that is a big deal, no matter what the reason is, right? Unless they have some, a note from the doctor. Right? Benedictor spoke from the capital, Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. Okay, here's the quote from the guy. I don't know. I'm not even gonna quote him. I don't care what the guy has to say. He's a xenophobe. We don't want to give him a platform. We don't want to hear any more what he has to say. All right. X to shutter operations in Brazil amid legal challenges over hate speech, misinformation. Interesting. Okay. Social media platform X, formerly Twitter, announced over the weekend it will be shutting down its operations in Brazil. The move by Musk comes after X faced legal challenges in Brazil over its refusal to fight the spread of misinformation online. Earlier this year, a Brazilian judge ordered X to block certain accounts accused of spreading fake news and hate messages, including some belonging to supporters of far-right former President Jair Bolsonaro. I don't know how to pronounce his name. So there's X. Yeah, that's the next thing. It's very interesting how this is all this whole media thing is unfolding. It used to be that the folks with the money and the power, they had a pretty good control over the media. It was basically, there are 3 networks on TV, and 1 or 2 newspapers in each major city, and they had a pretty good stranglehold on what was the information that was fed to the population. And now that's completely changed with the internet and all the social media and all this stuff. Everybody can get the word out, and people will learn stuff that they didn't learn before. And so the people who the wealthy and politically connected, they want their power. They don't have the power to control what people are hearing, and they want to do that. They want to stop what people hear. So, and we got free supposed to have here, First Amendment, and part of that First Amendment is free speech, so that we can Because you need that for a democracy to work properly. You need people to talk to each other and discuss things and stuff like that. And if the government or anybody, right, prevents people from talking and discussing things, then the good ideas don't come forward and the whole thing, right? It doesn't work right. So they're doing everything they can to try to suppress speech and disrupt speech and to keep people from discussing things, because then people will learn how fucked up they are, the leaders, right? How fucked up they are and how screwed up the things are that they're doing, how unfair they are, how undemocratic they are, how brutal they are, everything, so they don't want that. They don't want people to learn that. So they want to they're trying to stomp down on speech. And this happened before. This happened when radio came out. There was a big thing, and TV. And they figure out a way to stamp it down and control it. The internet's been more difficult for them, and so they've tried all kinds of things. First they just tried dissing the internet before there were enough people on the internet to realize what it was. Mainstream media, the media that was in control, was saying, "Oh, the internet is just a bunch of pornography. Don't go to the internet." But people went to the internet anyway, and they figured it out that it wasn't like that. And so they've been doing this all along, and for a long time they've been using copyright law and stuff like this. I've got this problem with YouTube now. They don't want to put my stuff up there because they're saying I'm violating a copyright or whatever. When I do my stuff. So that's the way that they're trying. And copyright laws is the most vague law there is. It should be. If the Supreme Court was doing their job, they would void the law. They would say this copyright law is too vague. Vague on voidness. That's a principle of law. If a law is vague, then you have to void the law, because it's not, you can't, if you don't know if people can't tell what the law is by what it says, then it can't be a law. That's kind of a fundamental principle. But instead, they keep it a law. They make it void so that they can make arbitrary decisions one way or another to block whatever kind of speech they want to block. Just by their mere interpretation, how they want to do it, which is arbitrary. So that's one way that they're doing it. So this other way they're doing it now is misinformation. Oh, the Russians are trying to disrupt our election. Oh, people are trying to put out, misinformation about health stuff. So, and it's who decides what's true and what isn't? Who decides what misinformation is and what isn't misinformation? It's not going to be us. It's not going to be the people. Guess who's going to decide? Yeah. Elon Musk and the Brazilian government, right? They're going to decide what's misinformation and what isn't. So, don't go by that. If you go somewhere and they say, "Oh, we're going to block stuff that we say is misinformation," grab your wallet and run the other way. Don't use that site. You know what really bugs me? Just now that we're talking about this. Okay, I guess this is more opinion than news, but whatever. It's information, right? I don't want to talk. I won't name names. All right. I'll just say there are a lot of streamers out there that say X is so terrible. Elon Musk is horrible. He's garbage. We don't want him. Get him out of here. Blah. He does horrible things. He lets all these hate people on it. They just blast him. And at the end of their stream say, "Yeah, follow me on Twitter." It's like, what the fuck you doing? I don't know. I don't understand this at all. And I think it's my, I said this, it's in my about page and everything. I've got a, neuro D thing. I don't know. I can't read social cues, so I don't know what's going on there. When people are, I think what is happening is that when people are saying bad things about X and Elon Musk and all that, they actually are. I'm not sure because I can't read. I can't read these social cues properly, so I don't know what is going on. But I think what it is they actually like him, but they're saying bad things about him, and it's some social thing that I don't get. That's the only way I can interpret it, because, you know, for me anyway, the way that I work this out, because I can't read those cues, I can't read social cues, I can't read that kind of stuff very well. The way I figure it out is, what is the person doing? What are they actually doing? You know, not what they're saying, but what are they doing? So, irrespective of what somebody is saying about X and Elon Musk and all that, if they got a Twitter account that they're using, then I go, okay, they like him. Then they like that platform, they like him. So whatever they're saying is some sort of social phenomenon that I don't understand. That's how I'm interpreting it, because it doesn't make sense to me. So okay, so that's about X. What else we got in here that will trigger me? Oh, okay, here's something about Bangladesh. This is something we talked about last time, too. Yeah, Bangladesh interim leader Muhammad Yunus vows to help Rohingya, I don't know how to pronounce that word either, refugees who fled Burma. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, this is right. Okay, so in Myanmar, the Rohingya people were the ones who were you know, got the short end of the stick, and they fled Myanmar or Burma. Burma is the old name or the new name. I don't know. It's another name, Myanmar or Burma. In Bangladesh, interim leader Muhammad Yunus vowed to support the more than 1 million Rohingya refugees living in his country as he gave his first major policy address. I should probably look these up and how to pronounce all these things, since I'm going to be doing the news, right? Who has been charged with leading Bangladesh's transition after the ouster, the Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, said, "We need the sustained efforts of the international community for Rohingya humanitarian operations and their eventual repatriation to their homeland, Myanmar, with safety, dignity, and full rights. Rohingya refugees continue to face persecution in Burma and deadly attacks as they make the treacherous journey to Bangladesh." End of quote. So it seems like these folks do this this Democracy Now, how they do their thing is they got the headline, a photo, a paragraph that kind of sums it up, and then a quote from somebody. That seems like their style here, how they're doing all these, which makes it pretty good. It makes it pretty good, you know. And then if you want to really get into the thing, you can go to Wikipedia and find a bunch of other sources or something to figure it out. So that's pretty good. That's a good way to do it, I think. Let me check something out here. Okay. Alright, let me make sure we got it. Okay. That stays to continue blocking expansion of Title 9. Okay. Alright, yeah, this one's about Supreme Court. I learned something about SCOTUS. Maybe I should write a note to myself here to cover that after this news stuff. I'll do it after this story. We'll take a little digression. I'll tell you about SCOTUS. Let's see, denied. Okay. Okay, so this is just updating on a Title IX case, I guess. Supreme Court, yeah, Title IX is, schools, right? In schools, so the boys and girls are treated equally in schools. The U.S. Supreme Court denied an emergency request from the Biden administration to allow its expanded Title IX rules to take effect. Earlier this year, the Biden administration updated its federal policy protecting against sex-based discrimination in schools to include LGBTQ+ and transgender students, as well as pregnant people and survivors of sexual assault. Expanded civil rights policy was supposed to go into effect August 1st, before Republican-led states moved to block it. Okay. So it's a court battle, I guess. They're going back and forth, and the Supreme Court is, just wonkers right now. They're just totally off the reservation. They're out of control. So that's them. Well, that was the last story they had. Okay. All right. Let me show you something about SCOTUS here, if I can get this. SCOTUS. SCOTUS is Supreme Court of the SCOTUS. Supreme Court of the U.S. Right, SCOTUS. But let me show you something here. Here it is. I actually found this in a dictionary. I was looking up words. It's a kind of a long thing, but I was following a train. When you look up words, they give you other words to describe that word. So or Latin phrases or whatever, and you get at least I do. I like to look up the etymology of a word when I'm trying to understand it. And anyway, so in one of those rabbit holes, I came across this thing. There's a guy named John Duns SCOTUS. Let me put it up here. John Duns SCOTUS. Dunce the Scot. Okay, that's what they called him. SCOTUS. That was his name. SCOTUS. Dunce. John Duns SCOTUS. Way back in 1265 to 1308 is when he was around. And of course, that time period in history, in the Western world, it was, it was the churches that were running things, right? There was no secular governments. It's government and church was the same thing. And he was a Scottish Catholic priest, I guess. So it says he's a university professor. But here's the thing. What I was looking up words, because I every once in a while I'll call somebody an idiot or stupid or and then a lot of times those words you trace them back and it's like they're like epithets for people who are developmentally disabled. It's so I was trying to find I'm trying to find a word that can say that somebody is acting imprudently. So anyway, that's the rabbit hole I was going down. And one of the words that I came across as I was going through that was dunce. D-U-N-C-E, dunce. Let's see if I spell that correctly. Yeah, D-U-N-C-E. So, and a dunce is somebody who is stupid, right? Slow, I guess. Maybe that's the word they use. I don't know. They used to, even when I was in school, they used to sit kids in a corner and make them wear a hat that said dunce on it. That's how they used to do education when I was a kid. That's how they treated kids. If a kid was not wasn't able to keep up or whatever, they stick him in a corner and put a hat on it that said dunce. So I guess we've improved, right? So things have improved a little bit. Critics of SCOTUS's work. Okay, so anyway, they got this whole long thing, and he, philosopher, theologian, and whatever. They argued. Oh, he was. Let's see, he was against Thomas Aquinas, maybe. Or no, he was against William of Ockham. Remember Occam's razor? You've heard of Occam's razor. That comes from this guy named William Ockham. And he was I think I have this right now. He was an opponent. They disagreed on stuff, right? And they wrote about it. And politically, Occam came out on top, I think. I think that's what it was. I hope I have this correctly. I'm trying to read this here as I'm saying it, but they don't have the details here. But anyway, I think it was Occam that he was that was his rival, right? And Occam came out, having to be on the right side on some political thing. And this guy, John Duns Scotus, was on the wrong end of it. He got the short end of the stick, and so for years, people would put down his stuff and say, "Oh, Dunce doesn't know what he's doing," and it eventually evolved into this, thing where Dunce became associated with, imprudent thinking or stupidity, slow, whatever. Over the years, that's what it came out to. Yeah, it says right here, critics of Scotus's, isn't this funny? Critics of Scotus's work describe his followers as dunces. So this is what I thought was so funny. That Scotus, Scotus are dunces, right? So if you say Scotus is, so I think that's kind of cool that they're associating SCOTUS. I mean, it's not cool for this guy, of course, but it's ironic that critics of SCOTUS's work described his followers as dunces. The dunce was later used as a form of punishment in schools, and the word dunce has come to be used as a term to describe someone dull-witted. Okay. All right. So SCOTUS. So now when you think of SCOTUS, you'll think dunce, which is apropos right now, right? I thought that was kind of cool, so I throw that little tidbit out there. It's a little something I found. Where are we at here? All right, so we did that. I don't know. I've been out here for an hour and a half. I guess we could do that. I think we covered all the news. God, that news is really bad, A lot of bad stuff. Yeah, that's all that's going on, right? I think I covered anything. There's nothing going on, anywhere else, and in New York or LA or Chicago or anywhere else. I don't think there's anything going on. So, all right. So we'll let me see if I can find that game here. Let me blank that out again as I try to find this. Let's see. I think I played it here. Oh, here we go. This is it. Okay. All right. Let me take a mind break here. This will help us cleanse our palates from all that news. The dunce thing kind of helped too, I guess. All right. So, World Geography games. I played this before. When it was a few weeks ago. I don't remember when it was. It was a little bit ago, actually. And I All right. I sandbagged. Okay, I sandbagged a little bit. I tried to make it a little more interesting. You know, if I would have just went by and clicked everything, it wouldn't have been as fun. So I sandbagged a little bit. Okay. I made it look like it was. I tried to make content. Okay, that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to make some content. All right, so let me. I won't sandbag this time. But I will cheat and I'll look at the map ahead of time just to see what we got here. All right, so this one I think. So here's some of the countries we were looking at, right? The Democratic Republic of the Congo. That's right here. Oh, yep, they do have a little coastline here. See, but they're basically right in the middle of this sub-Saharan Africa here, right there. So there was an article about them, and then what was it? Haiti and Dominican Republic are over here. Okay, no, not exactly south of Cuba. They're kind of southeast of Cuba, I guess, but north of Colombia and Venezuela. Let's see, here's Dominican Republic, and there's Haiti. So Haiti is having a lot of unrest, and things are screwed up, and people are suffering, and so they want to go over here, go across the border as refugees, say please help us. And Dominican Republic, of course, being good Christians, welcome them in and help them. Not. Okay, so let's see here. All right, so these are some of the countries here. I want to look at them here and see if I can try to memorize them and do them all really quick, rather than have to think about it too much. All right, Gambia, Guinea-Bissau. It's all these countries along the coast of Africa here. Sometimes are kind of. Sierra Leone. Okay, good. Guinea-Bissau. Okay. Okay. All right, and okay. 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 Alphabetical order. Okay. All right, and there was some, here's where, of course, this is where you guys know about that, right? What the map looks like with Israel and Palestine and all that. These countries are kind of tough to do too. All right, we were talking about Ukraine and Belarus. Okay, I thought Belarus was kind of over here a little bit more. I thought there was a little bit more room, but it's basically north. So both Russia and Belarus are both north, and Poland is to the west. So what happened is, here's Russia, right? Russia, and you can see my pointer, right? There's my pointer. So when Russia invaded, they lined up all their troops here, and before that, a few years before, they took this part here, which was Crimea. And when they took Crimea, they also, ruffled things up over here in the east, and they're still ruffled. And they tried to move down on this here. I don't know where I haven't been following it that close, but they have some territory on this side of Ukraine, and now Ukraine. Apparently, maybe Russia thought that Ukraine was going to do a counteroffensive directly against them over here, but instead they went up here. We're real smart. They went up here, here. I forget where it was, where that Kursk region, I don't know, it was an oblast or whatever they call it. Just a little. It's not that big of an area, but they got in there pretty easily and took it, I guess. And they're holding their ground. So, and then Belarus, they were saying, and because Ukraine had their troops up here, I guess they were worried about, strategically or tactically, I guess, I don't know, because the Belarus is on Russia's side, and people were just, thinking, wow, any day, Belarus is going to come in and help Russia and actually bring their troops in. So that's what Ukraine was probably worried about. So they probably put their troops over here, and Belarus was saying, oh, this is provocative having your troops, blah blah blah. So, first casualty of war. We don't know what's going on for sure, but that's what they're reporting. All right, so let's see. Let me look up what else we got here. These look pretty okay. These little countries here. Andorra. Okay, I think I can remember that one. Vatican City, that's easy. San Marino. Liechtenstein. Luxembourg. Okay, now these in here too are kind of tough. Macedonia, Kosovo. Okay, Kosovo. Right, Montenegro. Okay, Albania is right next to it. Okay, and Serbia is kind of a big one in there. Okay. Bosnia and Herzegovina. Okay, that's a C. Okay, that's kind of a way to remember it. Okay, Slovenia and Slovakia. Those are pretty easy to get confused, aren't they? So, I don't know how to remember that. I'll remember it. And Czechia is next to Poland, right? Yemen, Eritrea. Okay, I think I can remember this. Oh, the Stan countries. Those are kind of hard too. Let's see, how can we remember those? Kazakhstan, right? That's the big one, of course. Turkmenistan's the one's close to Turkey. Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, and Kyrgyzstan. Tajikistan is next to Afghanistan. Okay. Kyrgyzstan. Okay, I think I can remember that. And what do we got over here? Okay, we were just talking about Myanmar, right? In Bangladesh. Now, see, in my mind, when I read that article, I had these reversed for some reason. Isn't that interesting? I was thinking that Bangladesh was, of course, Bangladesh is up here, kind of almost part of India, right? So that's the story that we read about Bangladesh. This is Burma, Myanmar, Burma, same thing, and Bangladesh. So Bangladesh is doing the opposite of what that guy in Dominican Republic is doing, right? The new leader in Bangladesh said, "We're going to be good. We're going to, we're new leaders. We're going to be nice to people, and they're going to help the refugees from there." So that's good. That was kind of good news, right? I don't know if they're going to be democratic or not, or if they're going to be authoritarian eventually, or who knows where that's going to head. It's an interim government, so. Taiwan, right? That's another thing. Burundi. Now there are two. There's Burundi and there's Burundi. See, Burundi is over here, and Burundi. Okay, the one without the D is over here. Okay, I can remember that. Papua New Guinea, two more. Oh yeah, all the islands. Those are so hard. Okay. Nauru. It's the TV people. Vanuatu's kind of a V. Fiji, Tonga. Okay, I think I got it. All right, you ready? All right, here we go. Oh, let's do all the countries. Okay, here we go. Let's see how long it takes me to do it. It's what time is it? I don't know. 7:12, almost 7:13. So here we go. All right, first country, Morocco, Uruguay. I think this is Uruguay. Oh, am I going to miss one? Oh, Saudi Arabia, Iceland, Lithuania, Iran, Chile, Tajikistan. That's one of the stand countries we were just talking about. It's this one. Namibia, Niger, Iraq, Mongolia, Equatorial Guinea, Lesotho, Belgium, Jordan. I gotta zoom in for this one a little bit. Singapore, Bahrain. Oh, this one I don't know. All right, Kyrgyzstan. That's Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan. Okay. Sao Tome and Principe. That's those two. Romania, Latvia, Poland, Croatia, Nauru, Mali, Bulgaria, Palau, UAE, Paraguay, Lebanon, Sierra Leone, Suriname, Uganda. Oh. Who gets this one? Yep. Okay. Madagascar, South Africa, Philippines, Jamaica, Nigeria, Brunei. Oh, yeah, that's right. This is the one that we were confused about. That's the one over here. Central African Republic, Malaysia, Denmark, Colombia, Somalia, Taiwan, come on, Belarus, we're just talking about that one. Tanzania, Tuvalu, North Korea, Guinea-Bissau. I don't think I'm pronouncing these exactly right, but Luxembourg, Andorra, Georgia, Democratic Republic of Congo, Mauritania, Kiribati. Yeah, I was pronouncing that one wrong intentionally. Liechtenstein, Dominican Republic in the news. Israel in the news, always in the news. Let's see. Kenya. There's some thunder out there, so we're getting some weather as expected. where I'm at. Pakistan, South Korea, Santa Lucia. I didn't look at these. I think that's it. Guyana, Hungary. I didn't look at these either. Let's see. This one. France, Japan, Senegal, ay. Shoot, I forgot which one of these was Senegal. This one maybe, no. I'm thinking it's this one. Yep. All right. Turkmenistan. Well, it's staying countries. It's this one. Serbia. Oh, let's see. I think it was this one, right? Monaco. That one. Micronesia. Nepal. UK. Myanmar. That was in the news, right? We were talking about that. Burkina Faso. Bolivia. Gambia. That's this little one in between here. It'll light up for me. North Macedonia. Maldives. I think these are the Maldives. San Marino. Syria. Haiti, we're talking about that. Angola. It's either this one or this one. One's Algeria and one's Angola. And why I don't know the difference. I don't know why. Is this one? Yeah. Okay. Good. Kind of took a little Ukraine. Right. We were talking about that. These islands down here. Comoros, Norway. This one furthest away here. Uzbekistan. Seychelles. I think it's these. Republic of Congo. I'm going too fast. I'm going too fast for the game to reset. Bosnia and Herzegovina, Cameroon. I think it's this one. Oh no, I missed one. Oh, what did I do? What did I do? Is it this one? Yeah, I missed one. All right, that's okay. I'm going pretty fast. Marshall Islands, Thailand, Greece, Azerbaijan, Estonia, China, Indonesia. Come on. Sri Lanka. Vanuatu. If I'm pronouncing that, I don't know if I'm pronouncing these right. Palestine. All right. What's left of it? Brazil. Finland. Ivory Coast. This is Ivory Coast. Panama. So I missed one. That's okay. Albania. Guatemala. Italy. Mexico, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Portugal, Cuba, Cambodia, Dominica, which is different than the Dominican Republic, right? It's kind of confusing. Turkey, Bangladesh, that's what we were just talking about. Chad, I think that's Chad. Nicaragua. I already missed one, so I don't have my perfect thing here. Bahamas, Trinidad and Tobago. You say Tobago, I say Tobago. Malta. Right, yeah, Malta's up here. To go. I'll have one to go, please. Barbados. Did I miss that one? That's Barbados, isn't that Barbados? Oh, that was weird. Okay, Honduras, Vietnam, Papua New Guinea. Oh, we're getting a lot of thunder now. That's a big storm coming. Yemen, Switzerland, Liberia. This is Liberia, I'm pretty sure. Tonga, Qatar, Zambia, India, Antigua and Barbuda, Moldova. Oh, I remember, right, Moldova. That's this one. Nope, you're wrong. Oh my goodness. What am I getting wrong here? Moldova. How can I'm forgetting this one completely. God. Why am I blanking on this? This is weird. Did I click the wrong thing or something here? It's one of these, right? I thought it was this one. See that? I thought it was that one. That's telling me that's not it. So maybe it's this one? Alright, I'll skip it. We'll figure it out later. Zimbabwe. Solomon Islands. Bhutan. Russia. Kazakhstan, the Netherlands, Austria. That's Austria. Cape Verde. What is this here? Armenia, Eritrea. How come I can't, for life of me, I can't remember where Moldova was. That's bizarre. Vatican City, New Zealand. Alright. Come on, click. Sudan. Algeria, Ishiwatu, or however you pronounce it, Laos, El Salvador, Ecuador, Slovakia. Okay, here's the Slovakia and Slovenia. Which is which? I'm going to say that's Slovakia. St. Kitts and Nevis, East Timor, Djibouti, there, Germany, Costa Rica, we're going to chat here, Fiji, Rwanda, Oman, Ghana, I think that's Ghana. Think it through here, think it through. Okay, that's Ghana. Ethiopia, Czechia, Grenada, South Sudan, Canada, Egypt, Spain, Kosovo. Okay, one of these is Kosovo. That's Kosovo. Samoa. That's Samoa, right? Isn't it? Or am I confused here now? I'm pretty sure that's it. Why isn't that? Okay, it just wasn't clicking when I clicked it. See, it takes the game. It takes the game a few. After each click, it takes the game about 2 or 3 seconds, or a second or two for it to reset or something. I don't know. So you can only do it so fast. Slovenia. Okay, this is the other one. That's this one. Libya, which is right here. Peru. Where's Peru? That's Peru, isn't it? Burundi. Okay, this is the other one here. Montenegro. Ah, this is Montenegro. Okay. Tunisia. Mauritius. Kuwait. Malawi. Botswana. Sweden. Mozambique. Cyprus. Benin. US. Guinea. I think that's Guinea. Argentina. And there we go. Where the heck is Moldova? That's the one. That's the one I couldn't get. Oh, I didn't even do it. Look, I missed a couple of them there. I didn't realize that I missed 3 of them, and I skipped one. So that's not very good. But I was going pretty fast. How long did it take me? God, it took me 20 minutes. That's a long time, huh? All right, let's see where. If I say play again, is that going to put the map up again, or am I going to be able to see the map? Let me see here. All right, world countries. Yeah, I can't remember where Moldova was. Why can't I remember that? I'm pretty sure it's up here somewhere. That is so bizarre. I mean, it's you know, it's not like it's a that obscure of a country, you know, why I can't remember where that is. Right, you know, oh, there it is, right there. Okay, right, yes. Right, it's right next to it's right next to Ukraine. Yeah, that's been in the news lately too. I should have known that one. Okay, so I screwed that up, and I don't know why it gave me 3 other misses. You know what it may have done is when I was clicking the country before it was ready, I think it was counting those as misses. I think that's why it gave me 3 misses. So okay, so I missed 1. All right. So it's not that hard. It's not that hard to learn them, really. All right, I've been on 2 hours, and I'm totally messing up my viewer count, my average viewer count here. So, all right, so 5:30. I just almost so we did 2 hours from 3:30 to 4. No, wait, it says 5:30. Yeah, 3:30 to 5:30. That's 2 hours, yeah. And we have a storm going, so I could lose power at any point here. Because that happens when we got storms. You know, I'm not in a rural area, so we lose power a lot. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to cover. Yeah, there's other stuff, but I'll just I can cover that on another stream. Okay, so I guess that's it. We're all done for today. Great. All right, this is pretty good. We learned a few things, I think. Hopefully, if you watch this and you learn something, and you know, I don't just do news and talk about that stuff and world stuff. I also do a lot of science and technology and movies. I like sci-fi movies and movies generally. I do reviews, try to stream a movie every once in a while, and try to do IRLs around here in New Hampshire. So those are kind of interesting sometimes, or around my house. Mostly it's been around my house. I really needed to go other places to do it, but what else? And I've been vegan for over 40 years, so if you got any questions about vegan or you're interested in veganism, any of that stuff, hit the follow button, and you'll get a notice. Yeah, you got to hit the follow button, and you also have to make sure the little bell is enabled so you get the notifications. But that's it. All right. And I know what it was. There was somebody who had followed me. See, I don't have my alerts on, and somebody followed me, and I don't know who. I don't get alerts, right? I went through and set them all up. For some reason, they don't work. And it may be because I'm not an affiliate yet. So if you want to help me be an affiliate, hit the follow button. I need to get 20 something more followers, and then I can be an affiliate. So I got a follower here that I didn't know about a few days ago. Emilio Bono, thank you for following my channel. The alert didn't come up because the alerts aren't working, and I didn't notice it. There's no way. Oh, I got another follow. Thank you very much, Sable17. Thank you for following me. I really appreciate that. That helps a lot. So okay, I think we're gonna wrap it up here now. Been on over 2 hours. That's a long time for me. I'm an old guy, you know. I can't do these 10-hour streams. But next time I do a stream, today's Monday, so maybe. Well, usually I skip Tuesday, but I skipped. Bye. Yeah, bye. All right, so we'll see you later then. You'll get an alert Tuesday or Wednesday whenever I do my next stream. So everybody take care. Bye bye.
All right, here we go.
I got here at the end. That's okay.
First thing we climb a tree, and maybe then we talk, or sit silently and listen to our thoughts, illusions of someday, cast in a golden light, no dress rehearsal, this is our life. And that's where the hornet stung me, and I had a feverish dream with revenge and doubt. Tonight we smoke them out. You are ahead by a century. You are ahead by a century. You are ahead by a century. There in the morning shroud, and then the day began. I tilted your cloud, you tilted my hand. Rain falls in real time, and rain fell through the night. No dress rehearsal, this is our life. Well, that's when the hornet stung me, and I had a serious dream with revenge and doubt. Tonight we smoke them out. You are ahead by a century. 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 And disappointing you is getting me down. Hydrate or drive, absolutely. That is good. Dihydrogen oxide. That is very, very good. Dihydrogen oxide.